Good morning, Year 5. It is Wednesday, the 24th of February, and this is your English lesson. And today, building on from yesterday's lesson, we are going to plan a dilemma story. So just a quick recap then, if you're in school, you can pause the video and talk as a class. If you're at home, just stop the video and have a quick think. What was a dilemma story again? Just have a quick think. Okay, so we said that a dilemma story was where a character may have a problem and there's different ways to resolve it. A dilemma is where the character might not know what's going to happen and they have to choose out of a couple of different options. Okay, and we are going to try and plan and write our own dilemma ending. Okay, that's going to be the task for today. So a quick recap from some previous learning from Monday. These are examples for people who've uploaded online work and they will remain anonymous for this. I asked you to summarise a chapter from The Witches by Roald Dahl, and it was the chapter 6, The Meeting. So let's have a quick look at some of these summaries. I'm sure you did some great ones in school, and I'm looking forward to seeing those as well. So, the young boy was hiding in a room with ladies he thought were from the RSPCC, who were people who help children. He noticed all the ladies were wearing gloves and wigs. Then he fainted for 2 seconds. So this was a good summary because it was nice and short, to the point, and it pretty much details everything that happened in the chapter. The next one, the boy was doing mouse training. He looks through a crack and noticed everyone was a witch. He stays still looking for an exit. The only exit is shut off. Now this one, just remember your tenses and remember it's the boy, not you, not you. But it's really good. Now, do we know that they're definitely witches yet? I'm not quite so sure, but it's a good inference. That's what we think. The last one, this one really made me laugh. So the person who did this knows who it is, and it really made me laugh. This one. A boy is in a big room and he is behind the screen, and there are about 200 witches on the other side. If he made any noise, he would be a goner. Okay, so hopefully we did something similar in school. That tells me that we've got a really good idea of the chapter that we're going to be writing about next. So let's look at our dilemma again then. I'm just going to do a quick recap read for people just so we know exactly what we're doing. We're going to start planning it today, so this is where our dilemma is going to start, and we're going to write the ending. My blood turned to ice. I began to shake all over. I glanced frantically behind me for a back door to escape through. There wasn't one. Should I leap out from behind the screen and make a dash for the double doors? Those double doors were already closed, and I could see a woman standing in front of them. She was bending forward and fixing some sort of metal chain around the two door handles. Keep still, I told myself. No one has seen you yet. There's no reason in the world why they should come and look behind the screen. But one false move, one cough, one sneeze, one nose blow, one little sound of any sort, and it won't just be one witch that gets you. It'll be 200. At that point, I think I fainted. The whole thing was altogether too much for a small boy to cope with. But I don't believe I was out for more than a few seconds. And when I came to, I was lying on the carpet, and I was still, thank heavens, behind the screen. There was absolute silence all around me. Rather shakily, I got to my knees and peered once again through the crack in the screen. So this part of the lesson is where you have to do a bit of thinking for yourself. So what I would like you to do is, I'd like you to have a think of what could happen, what's going to be the ending to this dilemma story. Is it going to be a great ending where the boy gets out of the room unscathed? And how is he going to do that? Is he going to come up with a miraculous escape? Or is he going to turn into something else, possibly an animal or something of that? The animal or choice is totally up to you. Have a think of what our solution is going to be before we start looking at writing a plan. So I'm sure at home you've came up with some fantastic ideas, and I'm sure you've had some good discussions in class with Miss Richardson and Miss Slater. Here's some ideas I've got just in case you need a little bit of help with this part. So I've said that the boy could make a dash for an open window, but as he goes to jump, one of the witches zaps him and turns him into and he could turn into any animal you like. And I've put a little mouse up there. Could that turn into another dilemma? Could your story have another dilemma at the end of it because of that? He uses a distraction technique so that the path is cleared for his exit. And the last one, a witch hears a sound or smells something and captures the boy. What could they do to him? And again, could this lead to another dilemma or another escape solution? It's a totally independent piece of work, so I'm happy for you to run if you've got some really good ideas. So then let's look at our plan. Now our plan is going to follow on from the piece of the writing that's on the left that we read earlier in the video. So what am I looking for in this plan? Down the left hand side, you can see we've got what will happen. So this makes up the basis of your ideas for each paragraph. Now if you want to add more paragraphs, if your paragraphs are going to take a bit longer to get through than what these ones are, then that's absolutely fine. You can do 4 or 5 paragraphs, that's absolutely fine. Your story might end in a dilemma, so you might need a little bit more time to build up to that. So what am I looking at for the key features? So these are the ones that we looked at on yesterday's lesson. So we need some time openers, varied openers all of the time. Show, don't tell to build the tension, so don't just give away what's going to happen, really build it up and use your show don't tell techniques that we've concentrated on a lot this year. I want some ambitious vocabulary, and I will attach a vocabulary sheet to the end of onto Teams so that you can use it. You could also use the internet or a thesaurus if you've got one, or if you're in school, to try and up level your vocabulary. We're going to add some rhetorical questions, especially if you're doing a dilemma ending again, so you're creating another dilemma. You could use our rhetorical question for that. Verbs and adverbs to describe the action. So remember our adverbs, if someone's heart's racing frantically, we can work out from that that they are scared, so try and add those into there. Varied punctuation, so if someone's making an exclamation, really put that exclamation mark on there so the character really comes to life, so we can tell how they're feeling. The punctuation can really help this. And ellipsis for tension, we're already really good at this, and we always say duh, duh, duh in school. If you could use those, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, as we practiced in our SPAG lesson earlier in the week, some direct speech, it would be great to have some of that in there. So think about, if the boy's trying to escape, might there be some dialogue between witches? Could they shout at the boy? Remember, again, use some adverbs to describe how they're speaking and really try to bring the characters to life with your direct speech. If you're in red and purple groups, remember our rules for direct speech and how to punctuate accurately. We're really going to be looking for this when we see the work handed in school and online. So referring back to our learning objective for today, it was to plan a dilemma story. So what am I looking for in your plan? Green group, I'm looking for ambitious vocabulary, and I would like to see these detailed on your plans. And can you plan to use speech marks at least once in your story? Red group, you need to plan to use speech, and you can accurately punctuate this so when it comes to writing it makes it a lot easier, and plan to build tension within your story. And you should be referring back to your plan to see what the key features are and see how many of those you can include. Purple group, you're going to do the same as red group, except I'd like you to use adverbs with speech to bring characters to life. And I want you to include all of the key features noted on the planning sheet in your plan. Hope this all makes sense, Year 5. Enjoy planning your stories. I really look forward to marking these and looking at them online. Good luck. See you next time.